Today we are going to start. Actually, last week we started this theory of firm. Now, we said we discussed basically the types of firms. Firms represent the supply side of the market. Firms, we call firms or the producers or suppliers. In economics, we don't differentiate the meaning of different meanings of these things. We say firm, producer, supplier. Anyway, they all represent the supply side of the market. They are suppliers. They supply goods and services to the market. In the individual market or the if you take as a national aggregate demand, aggregate supply, or the individual supply of rice, supplier of the fish, supply of the paddy, supply of the bread, like that. Supply of hospital services, suppliers. Now in Sri Lanka, supply hospital services, we have around the private hospitals, the 6-7 private hospitals, or more than that, 10-15 private hospitals, suppliers, services. Then we discuss the types of organizations. Basically we divide private sector organization belong to private sector and the public sector. Still we have not defined this the firm. Then the private sector, again we divide commercial versus non-commercial, commercial versus non-commercial, commercial versus non-commercial. For example, the non-commercial charities, clubs, societies, associations, they are example for non-commercial organizations. They are not the profit-making institutions, non-profit organization, right? Then the commercial, of course, their main objective is to make profit. Sole traders, partnerships, private limited, public limited, these are the private commercial organizations. Then the public sector. Public sector organization, again, there are two types. Central government belong to central government, slowly central government institutions. Then the public corporation, semi-government. Central government, semi-government. Central government, owned by the central government, organizations owned by the government, purely owned by the government. The other one is the public corporations. Public corporation, semi-government, we call it. Departments, armed forces, fire service, police service. Police service, they are central government. Controlled by the administration, done by the government. Appointment for the CEOs done by the government, right? The promotions and the salaries are paid by the government, right? But the thing is, there are earnings. Sometimes the government postal department, railway department, their earnings, the revenues, they can't use their revenue. Day-to-day revenue for their the development of their the sector, their company, the railway. They have to transfer all these revenue to the consolidated funds, central government, treasury. Now, for the development things, the other things, starting of the construction of new railway stations, buying railways, they are, how do they get the money? Through the budget, salaries and wages through the budget. Revenue, although they are getting some daily revenue, monthly revenue, annual revenue, all should be transferred to the treasury. Then they are getting money through the budget. In the public corporation, CPC and CEB, right? They are semi-government. They need not to support, but they can have their own programs, and the board of directors are there. With the government approval, but the starting of new hydropower projects or the CPC, the buying oil, or the board can decide, right? They can have the authority, board's authority. Then we discuss firms. A firm basically has three types of the types of members, three stages, three types of the layers: workers, managers, owners. So in some cases, workers, of course, definitely we can observe. We can differentiate. But managers and owners, sometimes some institutions, some firms, you can't differentiate. But for example, the Sole trader, manager and the owner, manager, owner and the worker, same, right? Partnerships, maybe the worker, he can hire. Partnerships can hire workers. The managers and owners, either the partners can be managers and owners. But the big companies, family companies, owner is there, they appoint a manager to run the business, separately workers are there. Then, but the companies, when you say companies, formal companies, if you go to the share market, they are companies. Companies, you have the workers are there, managers are there, owners mean the shareholders. Shareholders are the owners, right? They don't have a separate individual. They own the company. In the case of you, they issue share, we buy share, we will become owners, right? Okay. Then types of firms. Types of firms, basically 3 types of firms. All these with regard to ownership, with regard to sector, first we discuss. Now you pull all these things, sole trader, and the types of firms, sole trader, partnerships and companies we discuss. Sole trader, you own the business. You getting the revenue, income. You are responsible for any losses you suffers, right? Then the partnerships. The 3 partners, they pool their funds and they run the business. Again, it is the partnership, unlimited liability. In the case of bankruptcy, in the case of the solvency, in the case of insolvency, in the case of liquidation, partners should settle all the debt. If they don't have money, the company is not profitable, then you have to sell your own assets and settle the debt. That is the partnership. Sometimes it is called, it is a bit of danger, risky. But there are partnerships. Companies is, you are limited liability, you are responsible for the other number of shares you own, right? Limited liability, shareholders. But shareholders are getting some other benefits. You get capital gain. You buy the share at 10 rupees, it appreciates to 100 rupees, 90 is the capital gain. Now these days this is happening. The one share, 10 rupee share, if you have already bought 10 rupee share, it has gone up to maybe 1,000, 300, 500, 400, like that. Huge, they drop huge capital gains, right? Now these days, of course, the share market is booming, right? The bullish. Here in the case of share market, we have 2 terms, bullish and bearish. Remember bearish, how does bear walk? Head down, head down, head down, head down. Then share market is coming down, coming down, coming down. Bearish. Bull, going up. And bullish. Now these days, share market is bullish. Share prices are going up. Bullish share market, right? Then that is the time. Now in the case in this lesson, whatever the firm types of firm, we say they represent supply side. They pull. We say it could be a sole trader or the partnerships or the company. We say in economics, in this lesson, we say it is the one entity, one unit. Objective. Objective generally it is to maximize the profits. But we said there are the objectives. Get a higher market share, get a higher return for their capital investment. Then the provide efficient service. Then the minimizing the risk minimization, management of risk. Then the employment generation. That is the main objective. Of these objectives, key objectives could be the economic profit, the maximize economic profit, right? Now this is the point we stopped last week. The economic profit. What is economic profit? We are familiar with this profits. What is economic profit? Economic profit is the revenue is, of course, what is the revenue? Revenue is the revenue obtained by selling the output. It could be a good or a service, right? Revenue, for example, if you go to share market, the hospital, Apollo, lung hospital, first you get the appointment, there's a hospital charge plus the consultant fees. The consultant fee will be the revenue of the consultant, but hospital charge is there. That is the starting point. Then after that, you consult, Then you buy drugs, medicine from the pharmacy, revenue, part of the revenue, right? That like that. The if you get some the other the operations or the testing, the scanning scan reports or the X-rays, EC blood report, cholesterol. Then all these the test report for you have to pay. That is also part of the revenue. Revenue by selling the output, how much this firm can earn, company can earn, hospital can earn, could earn. That is. So that it depends on demand curve faced by this one. Demand curve is the determinant. The demand curve determines the price for which any given the quantity can be sold, and else the revenue of the firm. Revenue of the firm, right? Demand curve, right? So a demand curve could be elastic, inelastic. If it is privately inelastic, whatever the quantity, whatever the price, they buy the same quantity. Revenue is quantity fixed, price increases. Property inelastic, right? Relatively elastic, relatively inelastic. We have already discussed this, right? Anyway, the revenue depends on shape of the demand curve. Revenue, selling the output, consumers' willingness to pay, willingness to buy certain quantity at certain price depends on the demand curve. Then the cost. Two types of cost: accounting cost, economic cost. Accounting cost, economic cost. Accounting cost is the cost of raw material, cost of electricity, cost of the labor, that is wage rate, cost of capital, that is interest rate, right? Then the rent. Direct, explicit cost is the accounting cost. Now, all this P&L account, profit and loss accounts are compiled using accounting cost, direct cost, explicit cost, you can say. So but the economic cost is called implicit cost. Hidden cost also added to accounting cost. What are the hidden items? Opportunity cost of labor, opportunity cost of capital, opportunity cost of owner's time. All these, that when you add these opportunity costs to the accounting cost, we get economic cost. Economic cost is the accounting cost plus opportunity cost of factors of production, land, labor, capital, ownership, like that. Opportunity cost. Generally, P&L accounts, companies at present all over the world, the P&L accounts are not compiled in terms of the economic cost, but economic only accounting cost concept is used, because the opportunity cost calculation, opportunity cost is very difficult. For example, if I work for a company, I get 50,000 per month. That is my accounting cost. That is a company's accounting cost. What is my opportunity cost? Opportunity cost, maybe if I could find a job in some other sector paying 60,000. So if I quit this, second best organ is 60,000 is the opportunity cost of my labor, right? Opportunity cost of my labor, right? So that is the opportunity cost. So calculating opportunity cost is very difficult. Opportunity cost of owner's time. If I own a company, I run the business. I run the business. I take decisions. But what is the opportunity cost of a whole day? I am staying there in my company, in my hotel, in my the store. Then what is the opportunity cost of my? If I could find a job in another sector without running the business, if I could find a job, let's say the getting monthly payment of 100,000, that is the say the monthly if I could earn 100,000 engaging in another job, that is the opportunity cost of owner's time. Understand? So like that, you can calculate opportunity cost of all the factors of production. So when you add all the opportunity costs to the accounting cost, we call economic cost. Revenue, revenue minus economic cost is the economic profit. What is accounting profit? Revenue minus accounting cost. Very easy to calculate. Electricity charges, water charges, the rent, the salaries and wages, interest payment, direct. Economic cost is accounting cost plus something. We'll calculate this for the right. For each output level, production cost depends on generally technology. What kind of technology? That determines how many inputs are needed to produce the output. Labor capital ratio technology. That is the technology. And input prices. Labor capital, number of workers, number of computers, and price of the labor, price of a computer or the rental of the computer. These are the cost of production depends on all these things, technology and the input prices. But the accounting cost is the actual payments to inputs used in the production process, raw materials. So the electricity, inputs, then the water. Then again, you can add the service fees, salaries and wages, right? Economy, because sum of, this is important, underlying that, sum of accounting cost and the opportunity cost of all inputs. Sum of accounting cost plus opportunity cost of all inputs, all factors of production, inputs, right? Excuse me. Then discuss one example. Think about that. Read and understand this. Let's spend a few minutes to understand this. A hairdresser owns a shop where she works. She sole trader. This is sole trader. She own business. In a year, she has revenues of $60,000 and monetary cost, direct cost, accounting cost, right? Electricity, shampoo, conditioner, and so on of $45,000 in a given period of 2020. Revenue $60,000, direct cost, explicit cost of the inputs $45,000. Also assume hairdresser can rent the shop to a communication for $10,000. If she doesn't run this business, definitely she could hire this to communication center communication for a $10,000 annually, right? These are the numbers: revenue, direct cost, then 10,000. You have to decide what is this 10,000. Estimate accounting profit. Estimate economic profit. Okay. Now, please, we'll spend 5 minutes. Can you calculate? Can you calculate? Answers to A, B, and C. Can you calculate? Tell me. 5 minutes. 10:50. 10:55. Quickly, can you calculate what is answer these two? Right. Accounting profit. What is accounting profit? How to define? Revenue minus accounting cost is the accounting profit. What is accounting profit? Can you answer? What is it? What is the difference between what? Accounting profit equals what? Is equal to what? Tell me. Tell me. What is accounting profit? Please answer me. What is accounting profit? Yes?
Revenue minus accounting cost.
Yes. How much? Tell me. What is the number? 60,000 is the revenue. Minus what? Minus?
45,000.
45,000. Good. That is the accounting profit. Economic profit? Then what is? 60,000 minus what? 60,000 minus what?
55,000.
55,000. Why is that? You have to add accounting cost plus the opportunity cost of this rent is the opportunity cost. If she doesn't run this business, and how much he could have earned by renting this to the communication, 10,000. That is the opportunity cost of the space premises. You have to add that 45,000 plus 10,000 is the accounting cost, 55,000. Then revenue 60,000 minus 50,000 is the economic profit 5,000, right? But thing is, we have not considered another opportunity cost. What is that? We have considered only the opportunity cost of premises. We have not considered opportunity cost of hairdresser, the owner's time. That is important. Just for simplification, we have not considered opportunity cost. We assume that is zero. But if this lady could find a job in another sector without running this business, find a job, annual income is the opportunity cost of owner's time. Remember? So we have not considered that. We have considered only the opportunity cost of the premises. Right. We have calculated the accounting cost, 60,000 minus 45,000, that is 15,000. Economic profit, 60,000 minus 55,000, that is 5,000 economic profit. Then see, think about. Suppose she could rent the premises, of course. She would rent the shop. Something missing. Rent the shop for 25,000. How would you answer about A and B? Tell me. A and B. Right? Accounting profit, no change. 60,000 minus 45,000. But the economic profit changes. What is the economic profit? 60,000 is the revenue minus this time 45,000, 25,000, 70,000. That is the problem. 60,000 minus 70,000, economic profit will be negative. Revenue 60,000, economic cost how much? 45,000 plus 25,000. Earlier economic cost 45,000 plus 10,000. Now you could rent this to 25,000, 45,000 plus 25,000, 70,000. Economic profit will be negative. Then what will happen? Then what do you recommend? I want a specific answer. What do you recommend this lady? To run the business or do something else? What is the best thing? What is the best choice? Tell me. Economic profit negative, minus 10,000. Then what do you do? What do you do? What is the most advisable? What is the most advisable thing? What is your advice to this lady? Tell me. Yes? Tell me. Logic.
Renting out for 25,000.
Ah, that's right. Just leave the industry, leave this company, shut down this your company, this your shop, rent that to 25,000. You are getting 25,000, 25,000 monthly rent of 25,000. If you run the business, you are getting only accounting profit of 15,000, right? If you don't run the business, you are getting 25,000. When economic profit is negative, no, it's minus. Therefore, most best thing is to rent this out and just stay home, relax at home. You are getting 25,000. And this is a good question to understand the meaning of accounting cost, economic cost, accounting profit, and economic profit, and some of the decision making, the process, the usefulness of this accounting cost concept in deciding, taking some decisions, right? Okay, it's a good question. This I got from one of the UK, the textbook. Now, we said companies, firms, suppliers' objective is to maximize the profit, to get the maximum profit. Then what is the question? Objective is clear. To get the maximum profit, how much should I produce? In other words, what is the profit maximizing output to get the maximum profit? Sometimes one can say to get the break-even level. Break-even level means no profit, no loss. Revenue equals cost. In terms of accounting, revenue equals accounting cost. That is the zero profit break-even level. Right? To get the break-even level, you can decide output level. Now, here the question is to get the maximum profit, positive profit, maximum, not the zero profit. Break-even level, no profit, revenue equals cost. Understand? How does a firm decide the profit maximizing output? What is the economic rule? There should be some rule. Economics, there should be some rule. Some direction, some method to decide profit maximizing output. If we join a company, company's objective is to maximize the profit. You are the manager. You have to decide how much should I produce monthly? What should be the profit maximizing output, the maximum profit, right? So then, but the thing is, the experienced managers, they have the intuition. They know this year, this month to get the maximum profit, we should export so much of the containers, so much of produce, so much of the kilograms. They have idea. That is the experience, managers' experience. They don't do like us, like economists, like you. They don't do the calculation and decide the profit maximizing output. Managers, they do the life. That is their life. They know if this monthly, if you could export monthly so many thousand kilograms, definitely profit will go down. So therefore, I am responsible for the management. At least I should produce 1,000, right, to get the maximum profit, or more than that. That is their life. That is their thinking is there. But here it is different. We are economists. We are learning. You have to decide what is the profit maximizing rule. Then experienced manager, they use their intuition to decide the profit maximizing output. But in this case, we decide using numbers. You decide the rule, determine the rule. What is the rule? First approach, there are two approaches. TR-TC approach. TR is the total revenue, total cost approach. MR is marginal revenue, MC, marginal cost approach. Actually, of these two, the most useful approach is MRMC approach. TR-TC approach, just to illustrating purposes, we use that. Using TR-TC, how does the firm decide the profit maximizing output? But MRMC is more general. At the profit maximizing output, marginal revenue equals marginal cost. We are going to prove that. Profit maximizing output is given when marginal revenue equals marginal cost. Revenue from the last unit is equal to cost of the last unit. At that point, output level corresponding that point is the profit maximizing output. We are going to prove that MRMC approach. But TRTC, we generally discuss. Okay, TRTC. Right. Complete the table. Complete the table. Can you, what is TR? Price into Q. TR, P into Q, P into Q, 21 into 1, 21, 20 into 2, 40, 19 into 3, like that. Can you calculate? Then the cost is given, total cost is given. Difference is the total TR minus TC is the profit. Can you calculate this? Complete this TR column and the profit column. TR column and the profit column. Quickly do that. TR column and the profit column. Please do that. 3 into 19, 4 into 18, 5 into 17, 6 into 16, TR. Difference, TR minus TC profit. TR minus TC profit. Can you do that? Please. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Do that. But you have to have this some piece of the papers and the half sheets and do the calculation. Do that. Complete TR, price into quantity, 3 into 19. The profits, TR minus TC. Please complete that. 3 into 19, 57. 57 minus 44. 57 minus 44, it is the profit. 57 minus 44, profit. 57 minus 44. That is 57 minus 44. 13, profit. Point 18, 72. 72 minus 51. 72 minus 51, profit. 72 minus 51. 72 minus 51. 72 minus 51. 21. Like that you can calculate.
Pam box se दी मन को
Sorry. Hello. Hello. Can you calculate?
Answer तीनों ने बड़ा होंगे.
60 into 16. 96. 96 minus 69. Profit. 7 into 15. 105. 105 minus 81. Profit. 8 into 14. Then like that you can calculate the profit, right? Okay. Now, at what level of profit the output is? At what level of output that profit is maximized? Sorry. Hello. Someone is talking. Yeah. Please ask me the question. At what level of output profit is maximized? Profit is maximized. Profit minus 10, minus 4, like that you can check. Then profit increases. For example, the output level 10, revenue 120, cost 129, profit minus 9. Right? Minus 9. Then the output level 9, revenue 117, profit 111, 6, like that. Profit minus, positive, increases, and then decreases again, negative. Right? Then what will happen? At what level of output profit is maximized? I think between 6 and 7, profit is maximized. If you calculate the between 6 and 7, it could be either 7 or 6. Profit is maximum profit is obtained, as I can remember, it is 7, at 7, right? Profit is maximized at 7, right? That is the profit maximizing output level is 7. Now in this case, what will happen? Company calculate, if they produce 1 unit, what would be the profit? 2 units, what would be the profit? 3 units, what would be the profit, right? They have an idea about the cost and the price, market price. Then they calculate. They go to the computer and calculate the profit. Then they decide, mechanically they decide, oh, profit maximizing output is 7. But the manager has the idea about the market price and the cost. Using those information, he calculates profit maximizing output. That is one way, right? Otherwise, actually they don't produce. They are waste of the resources. Now, if they produce, they do the calculation on the computer worksheet, right? They have the idea about the cost. If they produce 2 units, 3 units, 4 units, what would be the cost, total cost? If we produce 2 units, 3 units, 4 units, what will be the market price? They have the idea. Then you can calculate the profit. Profit is maximized at, I think it's 7, right? You can check that. Minus, positive, positive increases up to a certain point. After that, profit decreases up to negative. Maximum profit is at 7. Not 6, I think 7, right? The profit, maximum profit, again you can calculate. That is simple, very direct. Simple approach, TRTC approach to decide the profit maximizing output. Very simple. Then the MRMC approach. What is marginal revenue? Marginal revenue. I'll define the marginal revenue. Marginal revenue is the change in revenue for a small change in the output. change in revenue, total revenue, or a small change in the output, MR. For example, first unit, by selling the first unit, firm can get 21. Then marginal cost of the first unit is 21. Marginal cost of the second unit, how much? 2 unit generates results 40 rupees, $40. First unit results gives 21. Therefore, marginal revenue of the second unit is 19. 40 minus 21 divided by 2 minus 1. Next one. Marginal cost of the 2 units is 19. Second unit is 19. Second unit itself generates 19. 40 minus 21. Third unit. 3 units generate 57. First 2 units generate 40. So marginal cost of the third unit is how much? How much? 17. Why is that? 57 minus 40 divided by 3 minus 2. 57 minus 40 is 17 divided by 3 minus 2 is 1. Increase in revenue per unit increase in output. Or it is, you can say it is the revenue of the last unit, third unit, revenue of the second unit, marginal revenue of the fourth unit. 72 minus 57. First 3 units gives 57. 4 units gives 32. 72 minus 57. 72 minus 57 divided by 4 minus 3. Right? 15. 15. 72 minus 57 is 15. Right? 15 divided by 1. Marginal revenue of the fourth unit is 15. Like that, you can calculate marginal revenue. Marginal revenue. Right? Marginal revenue. Marginal revenue of the 10th unit. 120 minus 117. That is 3. Divided by 10 minus 1. 1. 3. Marginal revenue of the 10th unit is 3. By selling the 10th unit, 10th shirt, 10 kilogram, you can say. Company gets $3. That is the marginal revenue of the 10th unit. The TR is by selling all 10, you get 120. Marginal revenue is the revenue of the 10th unit, 3. That is the marginal. You can complete the marginal revenue schedule, please. That is homework. Please calculate the marginal revenue. I think I have given the example, the definition. Right. Yeah. So I'll give the definition of the MR. What is MR? MR is change in revenue divided by change in output. For example, same thing can be written as MR equals TR2 minus TR1 divided by Q2 minus Q1. Minus Q1. For example, marginal revenue of the 10th unit, MR2 equals 120 minus 117, last unit, divided by 10 minus 9. That is 3 divided by 1. Last unit, marginal revenue, 3. MC. What is marginal revenue? Similarly, you can define MC. MC equals marginal cost. Take down this. Changing total cost divided by output. MC equals TC2 minus TC1 divided by Q2 minus Q1. Same thing. RMC. can define MC of the marginal cost of the 10th unit, let's say. Can you tell me what is total cost of 10 units? Go through the table and tell me what is total cost of the 10 units. 10 units. Tell me. Total cost of the 10 units. Go to the table. You don't have the table. Sorry?
129.
10 units. You don't have the table.
129.
500 and
129.
129. Good. 129. Good. 9 units.
111.
111. 111. Divided by 10 minus 9. Yeah, revenue is the cost. That is, this equals 18. MC of the 10th unit. Revenue of the 10th unit. MR of the 10th unit. Like that. Marginal cost, marginal revenue, marginal cost and marginal revenue, marginal cost and marginal revenue. Marginal revenue, marginal cost, right? That is. Now we in the marginal revenue, marginal cost approach, you calculate marginal revenue of each unit, and marginal cost of each unit. Marginal cost of each unit. If you for this particular example, marginal revenue decreases. This example. Marginal cost you can calculate. Marginal cost is curve U shape. At the point of intersection, MR equals MC. MR equals MC. If you calculate that correctly, that point output level would be 7. MR equals MC at that point. That is 7, right? I'll go to the right, MR, then the MC. MC we can calculate 129 minus 111 divided by 10 minus. Like then you can calculate MC. If you calculate MC, this is a homework question. I have not done that. Actually, I have given those numbers in the table. So MC is decreasing and then increasing. U shape. Marginal cost curve is U shape. For this example, only this example, MR curve is downward slope. It depends. Sometimes MR curve is horizontal, but this example it is downward slope. Now what will happen? Next table I have given both. You see, MR MC 21 15, 19 11, 17 8. Marginal cost revenue of the 4th unit 15, cost is 7. Marginal revenue of the 5th unit is 13. Marginal cost of the 5th unit is 8, like that. Marginal revenue continuously decreases. 9, 21, 19, 17, 15, up to 3. Marginal cost, what will happen? Marginal cost decreases up to 3rd point or to 4th point. After that, increases, and then increases. U shape. MC. Then MR minus MC. What is MR minus MC? Marginal profit. Take down that column. Marginal profit. Not the total profit. Marginal profit. By selling the 1st unit, how much you could earn? Marginal profit of the 1st unit. By selling the 2nd unit, how much you could earn? 19 minus 11. Marginal profit. By selling the 3rd unit, how much you could earn? MR minus MC, 17 minus 8, marginal profit. Right? Marginal profit. If you calculate marginal profit decreases. right? Up to 6 point, right? Up to 6 and 7, 11 minus 10, 1. 9 minus 12, negative, minus 3. Marginal profit of the 7th unit, minus. So marginal the profit of the 6th unit, 11 minus 10. Marginal profit of the 5th unit, 13 minus 8, 5. Marginal profit decreases, and then it will be negative. 9 minus 12, 7 minus 14, 5 minus 16. That particular point, there is a point where marginal profit is 0. Marginal profit, not the total profit. Total profit is maximized at 7, between 6 and 7. So that is our finding in the TRTC approach. Total profit is maximized at 7. Marginal profit is come to 0, around 0, minimize marginal profit at the profit maximizing output. When marginal profit is positive, 1, it is positive. 2, at 2, it is positive. 19 minus 11. 3, positive. 5, it is positive. What is output decision? So, for example, company at the moment, it is 1. Marginal profit is 21 minus 1, 6. What do you recommend? Okay. Increase the output. Go to 2. 19 minus 11, 8. Marginal profit. By selling the last unit, second unit, you can get profit. Increase the output. Output decision, increase. Then third unit. 17 minus 8, 19. Then what will happen? 9. Marginal profit still positive. Increase the output. When marginal profit is the positive, you increase output. See, at 7, what will happen? Marginal profit minus 3. At 8, marginal profit 7, minus 7. At 9, marginal profit 5, the 11, minus. At 10, marginal profit, the marginal profit is minus 15. Then what will happen? You cut the output. If you are producing 10 units, don't produce. Your marginal profit, selling this unit, you can get negative. You will get negative profit. Cut down. 9, marginal profit negative. Cut down. 8, marginal profit negative. Cut down. You recommend that. If marginal profit is positive, you recommend output decision increase. If marginal profit negative, decrease. Exactly, there is one point where MR equals MC, marginal profit is 0. That means total profit is maximized. At the profit maximizing point, MR equals MC. Marginal profit 0. Understand? When marginal profit is positive, you recommend firm to increase the output. Still, yeah, last unit generate profit. If the last unit generate negative output, negative profit, cut down the output. Then you come to the point where marginal profit is 0, total profit is maximized. That is the economic rule, output decision in the MR-MC approach. As long as MR higher than MC, greater than MC, you recommend firm to increase the output. When MC greater than MR, you recommend firm to cut down the output. When MR exactly equal MC, stop. At that output level, profit is maximized. That is the one. Right. Now, output, yeah, this 6 actually, 6. To the left of the 6, what will happen? MR, this MC should be in the curve. Please, there is some typo. MC, bring this MC down to this curve. This curve indicates the MC. MR is above the MC. MR greater than MC. MR greater than MC. MR greater than MC. This curve is the MC. MC greater than MR. Above 6, MC greater than MR. MC greater than MR. Now what will happen? When MR greater than MC, output level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you increase the output. When MC greater than MR, you decrease the output. at the point of intersection, MR equals MC, output level 6, that is profit maximizing output. Actually, TRTC approach, this we said it is 7, no, it is 6. Profit is maximized at 6. So now we have the MRMC approach. What is the rule? Profit maximizing rule. We can give a rule to the company, recommend. Your profit will be maximized when marginal revenue of a particular MR equals MC. When MR equals MC at a particular level of output, that output level is the profit maximizing output. But the point of intersection, MR equals MC. Understand? Now that is the final point in the MRMC approach. Profit maximizing rule is maximize, produce the output up to the point where MR equals MC. If MR greater than MC, increase output, increase output. If MC greater than MR, decrease output, decrease output. When MR equals MC, output stop. Don't deviate. That will be the profit maximizing output. So this approach, the beauty of this approach is we can recommend firm. So we simply can't, we don't say profit maximizing output level is 6. In addition to that, we can recommend firm to other rules, other things. What are that? When at the present output level, your marginal revenue greater than marginal cost, increase output. Marginal revenue greater than MC, increase output. At the present output level, you are producing marginal cost higher than marginal revenue, cut down the output. That is interesting. You recommend. Then you come to the point when MR equals MC, you stop. Stop, that is the profit maximizing output. So these things can be recommended. MR greater than MC, increase output. MR less than MC, decrease output. MR equals MC, stop. Now I will go to the board. Yeah. Right. At this point, what will happen? To the left of this 6 margin 1, let's say it is 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Output level 1, marginal revenue greater than marginal cost. Output level 1, output level 1. Marginal revenue is this, marginal cost is this. Then you increase the output. Output level 2, output level 2. Marginal revenue this, marginal cost this. Increase the output. Output level 3, marginal revenue this, marginal this up to this point. Marginal cost is this. Marginal cost is this. Same. Output level 4, marginal revenue, this marginal cost higher than that. Output level you increase. Marginal revenue as long as MR greater than MC, you increase the output. This side, MC greater than MR. to cut down the output. MC greater than MR, cut down the output. So therefore, at this point, MR equals MC. Exactly, MR equals MC. Marginal profit 0. Profit maximizing output level is 6. Marginal profit 0. So what is the rule? When MR greater than MC, increase output. When MR less than MC, decrease output. When MR equals MC, that is the profit maximizing output. Profit maximizing output. Don't change, no change. MR greater than MC, increased output. MC greater than MR, decreased output. At that point, no change. You stick to that output. That would be the profit maximizing output. Please take down this chart and this rule, profit maximizing rule. Please take down this. That is important. Please take down. Right. So we said there are two approaches to decide the profit maximizing output. TRTC approach. The TRTC approach, profit is maximized, profit maximizing output is determined by the point where maximum profit is very simple, direct. In the MRMC approach, profit is maximized, or the profit maximizing output is determined by the point where MR equals MC. If MR greater than MC, we recommend firm to increase the output. If MC greater than MR, we recommend firm to decrease the output, cut down the output. If MR equals MC, we recommend firm to stop the output, don't change the output. That output will be the at that output rule, your total profit will be maximized. Right? Very simple, very interesting calculation. But the applied side of this is experienced manager in the government firm or the telecommunication firm, any factory, experienced manager, the intuition. He uses intuition and decide MRMC approach and use MRMC approach and decide profit maximizing output. He knows monthly or annually so much of containers we should export, and cost of this the containers is so much, then profit is so much. To get the maximum profit, so much we should export, we should sell so much of container loads. That is his experience. But here we don't have that intuition or experience. We simply use this approach. But this is consistent with the manager's intuition. That's very important. You might ask some export company, do the managers calculate all these, draw these graphs and calculate all the, no. Sometimes the quality control department, they have these things, but that is for different purposes. Economic purposes, this approach, for managers don't draw these curves, but they use the intuition, right? They decide the profit maximizing output. Okay. Profit is maximized when MR equals MC, right? Now we go to the production function. First we discuss the revenue, cost, profit maximizing output, determination of profit maximizing output. Now we are going to discuss a little bit more about the production of the company, production side of the company. So to produce output, we need inputs. To produce output Q, we use labor and capital. Men and machine. Using men and machine, you produce the output. Now I am producing the output of banking education. Banking education. I provide. I am the IBSL. I am providing this output. Banking. I teach you. My output is you all. How should I use? I use this computer. I use my presentation. This PowerPoint presentation. I use the board. I use my labor. I spend my time. So the output is produced using labor and capital. Garment factory. Garment factory, they produce garments using machines and people and some other inputs. So you have so many other inputs: land, labor, capital, electricity, water, so many inputs. All these inputs, using all these inputs, you produce garments. But generally, you can summarize, aggregate, and you can classify these in L and K. Output is a function of inputs, labor and capital. This relationship is called production function. Production function. Firms transforms inputs into outputs when machine taking this output. The relationship between inputs and output is explained by the production function. Mathematically speaking, how should we write down the production function? Q. F. Q as a function of L and K. Q is a function of labor and capital. The production function specifies. Now specific definition of production function. In the examination, if they ask define the production function, you have to give this definition. It is the relationship between output and input. Definition: the production function specifies the maximum output that can be produced from any given amounts of inputs. To simplify our analysis, we assume that the firm uses two inputs, labor and capital. Using 4 workers and 3 computers, if the maximum output is 100, that is the production function. Using 4 workers and 3 computers, you can produce 90. 4 workers and 3 workers, you can produce 80. 4 workers and 3 workers, also you can produce 70. These are inefficient output. Maximum output is the efficient output. The relationship between inputs and the maximum output, most efficient output, technically efficient output, is the production function. Understand? For the given technology, using the given technology, you can produce using 3 workers and 4 computers, 4 workers and 3 computers, you can produce 100 maximum. If you produce less than that output, that is inefficient output, technically inefficient output. So our production function is the relationship between inputs and the technically efficient output. Understand? Right. The production function summarizes the technically efficient ways of combining inputs to produce output. Right. 4 workers, the capital input, you can produce technically efficient output 100. 6 workers, 2 computers, 100. 7 workers, 2 computers, 106. 12 workers, 4 computers, 200. Now, if you produce the output level less than that, using 4 and 4, if you produce 90, 90 is inefficient. Using 6 and 2, if you produce 80, 80 is inefficient. Using 7 and 2, if you produce 100, 100 is inefficient. Because the efficient output is 106. 12 and 4, if you produce less than 200, that output level is inefficient. Right? That is important to understand. This 100, 100, 106, 200 is the maximum output that the firm can produce these input combinations. That you have to understand clearly. Clearly, you have to understand. Right? If the particular company produces less than that, inefficient output. Now we are going to discuss another concept, short run versus long run. The short run production function and long run production function. Short run production function and long run production function. Before this, before you define a short run, long run production function, you have to first discuss the difference between short run and long run. Today you start a business. What is short run? What is long run? You can say short run is 3 months and long run is more than 3 months, or short run 1 year, long run more than 1 year. How to define short run, long run? Can you explain me? Can anyone of you answer me the difference between short run and the long run? Short run and long run. Tell me. Yes, in the short run and in the long run. What is the difference?
Short run have fixed and variables, but a long run have all factors are variables.
Good. Yeah, you have something very good. But in the short run, let's discuss the idea where you are right. In the short run, there is a fixed factor. In the long run, there is no fixed factor, all variable. Why is that? Today you start the business. Labor is abundant. You can hire any number of workers to produce the output. But you have only 2 computers. You need more, but 2 computers. You go to the bank manager, ask for a loan. Bank manager say, okay, you have just started. He can't give you loan to buy buy computers. You just manage with these two computers. That means that 2 computers fix for a certain period of time. Let's say 1 year. End of the 1 year, you are making some profit. You are good. Your company performance are good. Then you go to the bank manager. You ask, okay, sir, this is my profit with the balance sheet. You go to this is my balance sheet, profit and loss account. Please study this, and I would like to apply for a loan to buy more computers. Then bank manager might say, okay, now you are good. We'll give you the 1 million, not the 50 million, 1 million to buy loans. Okay, 50 million, buy computers. Now, then becomes capital number of computers. Now you can buy more and more computers. Variable labor is labor, any number of workers. But now at that point, you can buy more computers. That means capital becomes variable. Labor is already variable. In the short run, number of computers fixed. Fixed capital, labor is the variable factor. So the difference between short run. In the short run, company has some fixed factor. Fixed factor. Therefore, there is a fixed cost. When there is a fixed factor, there is a fixed cost. In the long run, no fixed cost, fixed factor. All are variables. Company can hire any number of workers. Company can buy any number of computers. Company can expand the factory. Company can change the scope of their business. Everything is possible in the long run. But in the short run, you have fixed factors. You have to manage with this factor and show your colors. After some time, you will be able to increase change your fixed factor. Now we can define short run, long run. What is the demarcation? You can't say it is 3 months, so another company is 6 months, so 1 year, 2 years. No. The point where the fixed factor becomes a variable factor is the point where short run becomes long run. Understand? So the fixed factor becomes variable factor when you move from a short run to long run. In the short run, when there is a fixed factor, there is the fixed cost. For example, 3 computers. Every month you have to pay the rental of the computers. Let's say 1,000 rupees every month. 1,000. That is the fixed cost. Another example, if you are in a rented building, in the short run, maybe rent is the fixed factor. Even long run also it could be a fixed factor. Rent, security personal charges, fixed cost is there, right? Void cost, right? Fixed cost, because there is a fixed factor. There is a fixed cost. Now we have some idea about the short run production function and long run production. Now there is another typo here. I will change that. This short run, this production function same. This short run production function, you have to put K bar. You have to draw a line here. That is fixed factor. K is fixed. You have not indicated that. I will change those things. Short run production function L and K bar. Draw the line. So long run production function F, L, K both. Right? I will go to the board. Fixed factor is this. Short run. Output equals F, L, K bar. Fixed factor, variable labor, fixed capital. Variable labor. Right? Variable, fixed capital, variable labor, fixed capital, variable labor. I'll go there, write it here, labor, fixed capital, variable labor. Long run. Production function LK. Variable capital, variable labor. These are fixed capital. So you have to add, that is the type we have to add, draw a line. Then in the short run, if the firm, the company wants to increase the output, how do they do that? Increase the output, how do they do that? Capital is fixed. By increasing more and more, hiring more and more workers, you can increase the output. Capital is fixed, 2 computers. You hire 1 more workers and try to increase the output. But long run story is different. In the long run, if you want to increase the output, you can increase labor or you can increase capital. That is the difference between the short run and the long run. Short run production function and the long run production function. Right? See, that is in the short run, one of these factors we assume capital is fixed. In the long run, all variables, right? Right. Now, in the long run, we said you can hire any number of workers, you can buy any number of computers, you can increase the factory size in the long run. Now, this banking institution, we were at the Borella, very small place. in front of this Archbishop of the official bungalow, yes, the building, they are building so packed. So after that, after 3 years period, this IBSL has their own building. Now we have so many space. In the long run, you can change the space. You can expand the factory size. You can engage the premises. We have done that. Earlier it was fixed. Factory, labor variable, capital variable. You can change increase the expand the factory, get more warehouses, or at the same time you can change the scope of the business. Scope of the business. What is scope of the business? Now, Institute of Bankers of Sri Lanka. Now we are responsible. This institution is responsible for educating the banking community, conducting various exams, issuing results, the joining with foreign universities, collaborating with foreign universities. You give opportunities to our students to get a degree. We have so many programs, right? That is banking education. At the present, IBSL is main task, objective of the IBSL is to increase the education, level of education, the IQ level of the banking community. Education services. It's an educational institution. Suppose bank decide, this board of directors decide, okay, now we have enough funds, we have enough profit, we are going to start a finance company. From educating people to start a finance company. That is, you change the scope of the business. In the long run, you can do change. If you want, you can change the scope of the business. Now the Hemas, Brandix, now they are hospitals. Earlier they were the export companies, export sector. Then they moved to change their scope, expand their scope of the business, starting the hospitals. And just in the long run, everything is possible. Understand? That's important to understand the short run and long run, the difference between these two. It is not a specific point. Less than 3 months short run, more than 3 months long run, no. Less than 1 year short run, more than 1 year long run. It's a company specific concept. Company specific concept. Company to company, short run, long run, different, depending on their profitability, depending on their profit and loss account, performance, managerial capacity, the capacity of the decision-making process, efficient decision-making process, different. For some companies, short run is very short. You can become, you can buy any number of workers, you can change the scope of the business, you can hire any number of, buy any number of computers. No. Some other company, it is very low. 2 years also still, bank is not willing to grant them a loan. Still you have to manage with the existing number of computers. So for that company, short run, long run is very low. So that's why I am discussing this, a little bit more about this, because this is a very important term: short run behavior, long run behavior of the company, of the business, business of the business, right? Oh, right. Okay. The short run is the period in which firm cannot fully adjust to change in conditions. Fully adjust means we cannot change the number of computers. That's why you can do whatever you like. You can't. In the short run, the firm has some fixed factors of production. A fixed factor of production is a factor whose input level cannot be varied by computers. The existence of fixed factors has two implications. Because there is a fixed factor, in the short run, firm has some fixed cost. Rental of these 3 computers. Every month, you have to pay 1,000. Second implication is the short run cost will be different from its long run cost and must be higher. This is a bit of you have to understand, to produce the certain amount of the output 100. It's 100. Q is 100. You have in the short run you have some combination. 4 workers, 3 computers. 3 computers is fixed. In the short run, understand this scenario, you produce 100 units of the output using 4 workers and 3 computers. Why that? 3 is a fixed factor. But in the long run, you produce the 100 output using the 2 workers and 4 computers, right? 100 output, 100 units is the output. Then what will happen? Cost of producing the short run 100 units of the output, or long run, in the long run 100. Generally what will happen? Long run cost of producing the output is less than the short run cost of producing the output. Why? You have more flexibility. Labor is the variable, capital is the variable, then definitely in the long run, cost of producing the given amount of the output is less. Short run cost is less than the from its long run cost, and must be short run cost will be different from its long run cost and must be higher. Short run cost is higher than the long run cost of producing same level of output. Fixed factor, right? That is the very interesting thing. The theory of firm, right? Short run cost of producing a given amount of output is higher than that of producing the same amount of output in the long run, because you have more flexibility. If you have more flexibility, you can achieve a certain target with a minimum effort. Right? More flexibility is there. Right? Flexibility is there. Right? All are variable. Then you can achieve. You don't put that much of effort to produce them. Understand? That is the thing. These are the two implications. Because there is a fixed factor, there is a fixed cost. Because there is a fixed factor, short run cost is higher than the long run cost of producing the given amount of output. Now the equations. In the short run, the total cost of production made up of fixed cost and a variable cost. Fixed costs are costs that do not vary with the output level. It is fixed. Whatever the output level. Rental of the computer, if you produce 100 units, 200, output Q is 200, 300, 400, rental is fixed. Fixed costs do not vary with the output level. But variable costs do vary. When you increase the output, labor cost is a variable, labor cost vary. Therefore, in the short run, TC equals FC plus VC. FC is the fixed cost, VC is the variable cost, TC is the total cost. Right. Now this question, okay, let's calculate a little bit. Output level, some typo is there. Q is the output 0 to 10. FC 30, 30, 30, 30. This is fixed, no? Variable cost 0, 22, 38 is 6. TC. Can you calculate TC, total cost? Add. I will spend the 5 minutes to calculate TC row. Can you calculate TC? TC. You have some A4 sheets, right? Calculate this. Complete the above table. Complete the above table. Can you calculate TC and MC? MC. Can you calculate? TC 30 plus 0, 30 plus 22, TC, 30 plus 38, TC, 30 plus 48, TC, like that, 30 plus 255, TC. MC, changing cost divided by changing output. Changing cost divided by changing output. Please, we'll spend 5 minutes. Can you do that? 10 minutes. Now it is 12:05, 12:15. We'll discuss this. TC you add FC and BC. MC, we calculate change in TC divided by change in output. Change in TC divided by change in output. Can easily do that. 5 more minutes, right? You calculate TC, MC, TC, MC. Then draw the MC curve. Right. Work out now. I have drawn this the numbers vertically. Output 0 to 10. Fixed cost is fixed. What is fixed cost? Irrespective of the output, whatever the output level, it is fixed. 30, 30, 30. Right? Then variable cost. Variable cost vary with the output level. Output level increases, variable cost increases. Fixed cost is fixed. TC, what is TC? Sum of these two. 30 plus 0, 30. 30 plus 22, 52. 30 plus 38, 68. 30 plus 48, 78. 30 plus 61, 91. 30 plus 79, 109. 30 plus 32. 30 plus 31, 161. This one, 196. 237. The 85. Like that. MC. MC? What is MC? MC. MC of the first unit. Let's say calculate first. Second unit 68. First unit 52. 68 minus 52 divided by 2 minus 1. MC of the second unit 68 minus 52 divided by 2 minus 1. 16. This is 16. This one. Third unit. 78 minus 68 divided by 3 minus 2. Then divided by 110. Like that. You can calculate. I want you to fill this. 10th unit, 285 minus 237. 285 minus 237. 285 10th unit. Then minus 9. 48. Like that. You can change. Calculate that, right? Marginal cost, the first unit, 52. It is not 52. If firm doesn't produce any output, 0. That's the cost, fixed cost. Therefore, 52 minus 30 divided by 1 minus 0, because the first unit costs 52, but it is not the marginal cost of the first unit. When firm doesn't produce any output in the short run, that's the cost 30. Therefore, 52 minus 30, that is 22. First unit. Understand? 52 minus 30. 1 minus 0. Please complete that. Complete the above table, you can complete. Homework question. Then, second question is draw the MC curve. MC curve. Generally, MC curve is drawn quantity y-axis. MC. Quantity along the x-axis. The MC marginal cost on the y-axis. If you draw output 1, output 2, output 3, like that you mark and draw. MC decreases. MC decreases and then increases. I can calculate here. You can see that is the MC. MC decreases up to 30. After that, increases. U shape. Draw the MC curve. Quantity versus MC. What is curve? What will happen? 1 to 10. MC. You can see MC 22, 16, 10, 13, 48. Let's see. Right? Quantity. Now mark. First unit 22. Second unit 16. 16. Third unit 10. Third unit 10. Like that. First unit 22. Second unit 16. Fourth unit 18. 18. Then like that. 10th unit 48. Now MC curve is like this. MC curve is like this. Something like that. MC curve, U-shape MC curve. MC decreases and then increases. Output, when output increases, MC decreases and then increases. Right? That's the shape of the MC curve. Right. So this is mathematics. Now this the cost curves indicates indicates short run or the long run cost. This cost data shows, my question is, does this cost data show the short run or the long run cost of the firm? Tell me. Sorry?
Short run.
Why is that? How to decide? Good.
Because there is a fixed cost.
Because there is a fixed cost. Yes, when firm doesn't produce any output, there is a cost. Therefore, it is short run. This cost structure represents the short run cost of the firm, behavior of the firm, right? Now you can draw this one. We'll go to right. Now this is the shape of the total cost. Short run cost curves. FC, VC, TC curves, right? X-axis Q, Y-axis FC, VC, TC, all three. Fixed cost curve is whatever the output level, it is fixed. 30, 30, 30, 30. Output level 1, 30, 10 also 30. It is horizontal, parallel line, parallel to the x-axis, fixed cost curve. But the variable cost curve do vary. When firm doesn't produce an output, variable cost 0. Like that, variable cost increases. This is the shape of variable cost with the output level. Now, earlier table, you may remember variable cost is first unit variable cost 22, 10th unit is 255 variable cost. Then what will happen? Total cost is the sum of these two. The variable cost, you add fixed number 30, 30, 30, 30. Therefore, what will happen? Shape of the variable cost, it is same as the fixed cost, variable cost curve, but shift by 30. This gap between these two is 30. These two curves is 30 fixed cost. So the starting point is here. Total cost is 30. When firm doesn't produce any output, total cost 30. After that, when firm increase the output, total cost increases parallel to the variable cost curve. Exactly parallel to the variable cost curve. Gap between variable cost and the total cost is the fixed cost. Fixed cost. You add some fixed number to the variable cost. That's why it is parallel. Understand? Then at the now this also again there's some typo. You have to draw the line TC divided by TC over Q, FC over Q divided by Q, VC divided by Q. Some typo is there. It is not there. So the total cost divided by Q is average cost. Fixed cost divided by Q is average fixed cost. Variable cost divided by Q is average variable cost. Totals and the averages. TC equals FC plus VC. AC equals AFC plus AVC. Averages also the same relationship. Average cost equals average fixed cost plus average variable cost. Average variable cost. Right. From this point onwards, we will stop because the shape of this cost curve here. I want to calculate the homework question. Please calculate these things. Output, FC, VC, same numbers. But this time you are going to calculate AFC. What is AFC? Fixed cost divided by output. 30 divided by 0. 30 divided by 1. 30 divided by 2. 30 divided by 3. That is AFC. ABC? Variable cost divided by output. 0 divided by 0. 22 divided by 1. 38 divided by 2. 48 divided by 3, like that. AVC. AC, sum of these two. Sum of these two. AFC and AVC. Please complete the table. Now, next week, we are going to start, our starting point is this. Short-run cost of production. I want you to calculate. Please complete the earlier, we had two tables. The first table is the calculation of profit maximizing output. Next table, calculation of MR, then the MC, After that, MRMC, application of MRMC condition. Then the other table is this one, calculation of the fixed cost, the total cost. This table, averages. Please, we prepare this. I want you to do some homework. Your homework is very important. Please complete this table and get a printout of this handout, the presentation, and work out all these things. And that's very important. Otherwise, we can directly monitor. We can't see you all. No? It's up to you. It's self-studies. You have to do lots of self-studies, and genuinely you have to commit this to their course. Otherwise, there's no point of you are listening to me. I don't know what you are doing. Maybe you are sleeping. You are doing some other matters. You are the I can't see. No. So it's up to you. Now this time, more weight is with you. More effort should be done by you. My effort is I'm doing my best. You have to do your best to get through there. Okay, thank you. We'll see next week. See you next week. That is in February. No, you have February 4th is Thursday. No, when is the next week? Calendar. February is February. Yes, February 6th. 6th. Yes, February 6th is Saturday. Yes, 4th is Thursday, National Day. It is a holiday. No, then the 6th is Saturday. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. We'll stop now. Break up. Right. Thank you.